Hello folks, my name is K.W. Wayne. I'm the author of the Fred series of books. The first book took place here on the Green family farm about 2 miles east of town. The name of that book was The Bear. There are 7 books in all. But I would like to talk a little bit today about the book The Bear and talk a little bit about the people who have made this home their home for several generations. You probably know the story about Carl and Carrie Green. This is their home. It's a beautiful place here, and the farms in this area here are a little bit larger than the ones on the west side of town. I live on the west side of town. My farm is only about 60 acres. The one across the road about 80. And there's a smaller farm even than that. The Martinez farm is only about 40 acres. But on this side of the town, most of the farms are over 100 acres, some 200, 300, 400 acres even. Carl and Carrie had 2 sons, and when the first one was born, Carl came out here on the day that Kurt was born and planted this tree. This is a ginkgo tree. As you can see, the leaves kind of look like a little handheld fan. It's a beautiful tree. It was about 2 feet high when he planted it. As you can see right now, it's up to about 18 feet high. In this part of the state, your plants, especially trees, have a tendency to grow pretty slowly. And this is one of those examples. Normally this tree by now in many parts of the country would probably be closer to 25 feet, which is about the height that they normally wind up becoming. I'm going to walk out here a little bit toward the garden now. I'm going to kind of take it real nice and slow because of the fact that I don't... Oh, over here, this is really pretty. This is really, really pretty. Look at that beautiful flower. Isn't that nice? That is just beautiful. That is over here by the back of the house. I'm going to come on over here toward the garden. There's the bear. You may have read the short story in K.W. Wayne Short Stories about the other bear. That's her. That's the other bear. She's still alive and kicking. As you can see, a little bit of corn. There's some flowers down through there. And over here, some squash plants and so on. Right here is the garden path. This is the path that the bear used to walk up when she would come to see Kurt. I'm going to walk over here a little bit. This ground is kind of uneven. I'm trying to watch it as I'm walking around. This is some of the flowers on this side of the garden. They're really pretty. I'm going to just kind of pan these a little bit so you can see them. There, some more. Okay. All right. I'm going to go around This is a little area where there's some asparagus. That's the top of the old arch that used to be over the garden path. Carl put that up for Carrie a number of years ago. You can see it's pretty well broken. Yesterday, when I was over here talking with Jeff Darden, there was a shirt hanging up on this line, which happened to be the last evidence of the scarecrow that used to be here in the garden. As you can see, this is a sunflower. Here's some more really nice flowers. I think maybe you can see those. Right here is where the garden ends now. It never used to end here. It actually used to go out almost to where the trees start now. The trees were never here either. I'm going to walk over here. This was all garden up through here. It was a huge garden. In fact, Kurt used to take care of the peck and half bushel baskets that they'd use to pick the produce here. Okay, here's another couple of bumps. And wind up killing myself before I'm done here. Here's a couple of maple trees growing up here, and also some berry plants. But right back in there, you can see the evergreen trees. This used to be the field that Carl worked in. He worked that field, as did his father Harlan and his grandfather before him. They all worked this land. This land is much grown up now. Never used to be like this, but it is now. The fence row, I imagine it's probably 50 feet and better from here to where the fence actually is. The other side over there is where the Darden farm begins. I wish I could find that shirt that was hanging up here. It was really a very, very nice shirt. I'm going to go around the garden now, out to here, toward the backside. A couple things here I wanted to show you. Ew, what is that? That is weird looking. Nobody knows. I certainly don't. And there's the old snake hanging on the fence post. Take a look at those beautiful sunflowers. Those ones aren't so much open, but these ones are really attractive. And a couple of watermelons lying down in there. A couple other really short sunflowers. They're just not real big this year. There's something else that I noticed over here, which was kind of interesting. I think this is the last apple tree on the farm. They used to have a lot of fruit and that kind of thing here. A lot of those trees. Now you don't see that much anymore here. Let me see. Well, over here. This was at one time the blackberry bushes. Now it's mostly multiflora. I don't think you could probably pick berries in there anymore. I'm going back in here where the fence row is. the fence row is right over by that tree right there. But if you come in here, this is a very interesting area here. This is the place that was called Carrie's Garden. You may have had a chance to read that book, Carrie's Garden. That is the book that occurred right here. There's some pretty flowers right there. Right, see if I can find it. Right there is what's left of the old bird bath flowers again. That Pan, she always went ahead and cleaned the marbles and stones and put them out here. They were really beautiful. Here you can see what's left of the little garden path, the gnomes that are left. There were a lot of them here, but quite a few of them are gone. There's the love seat that she used to sit on. She would talk to the Lord. She'd always invite the Lord here. This I thought was very interesting. The beautiful cherubs on that seat. You can still see a little bit of the sun shining here. There's a piece of an old hummingbird feeder right there, laying down there. I think I want to just leave it because it's a part of the history of this place. Oh, there's the bear again. Hi, bear. And here is the sign that says God's Garden. It used to be upright. Now it's kind of bent sideways like that. And the chain that it's hooked up with has actually grown into the tree. Also, over here, there is the bird feeder, and there is the chime. The front face of the chime is actually rotting out. I imagine by next year or so it'll probably be gone. Right up in the top of the bird feeder, I don't know if you can tell, but there's a bee's nest up in there. It's a beautiful place. I love the tree. I love the sign, the love seat, and the little bench, the little walkway going down through here. There's the gnomes. Beautiful place. There's a little mechanical bird. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today. You can read about the Green family in the book, The Bear. There's also more information in the second book called The Sky Watchers. And in the third book was called The Vacationer. There's quite a bit about Carrie and Kurt in that. You'll also get an opportunity to read a little bit about them and some of the supporting stories in K.W. Wayne's short stories, and also in Carrie's Garden. Right now I'm working on the fourth main book in the series, which is The Claw. And of course the last book in the series is the one called The Saga of Mr. Spike. It's kind of a cute little story about a really nice cat who had a very, very difficult situation. And anyway, he has to deal with that difficult situation. And today he's dealing with that situation. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoy this video.